And it's just basketball. At the end of the day, it's just basketball.
Like and subscribe on the way in the door, my people. I hope you all are having a truly fantastic day today. Welcome back, my people. Welcome back. I really hate that this Michael Jordan segment is only 3 minutes long, but apparently that's all it takes to destroy the way this modern NBA is being conducted. So this week, my people, they talked about load management, and I must say, MJ did a fantastic job of explaining why load management is completely ridiculous, completely unnecessary, and completely the opposite effect of what they're trying to have with this load management. So apparently load management is, I thought, to my understanding, was supposed to be so for various reasons, but mainly so they can rest the players during lesser important games so that the players can be fresher for more important games. But let's take a listen to the GOAT, not the duck, the GOAT, give his thoughts about load management.
The term load management has become such a hot button in the NBA.
How I know you were going to talk about that one?
Because you played 80 games a lot. You played 82. What do you think of when you hear the term load management thrown around?
It shouldn't be needed, first and foremost. You know, I never wanted to miss a game because it was an opportunity to prove. It was something that I felt like, you know, the fans are there to watch me play. I want to impress that guy way up on top who probably worked his ass off to get a ticket or to get money to buy the ticket.
You really cared about the guy who sat in the top deck at the Palace in Auburn Hills to watch you when you came to Detroit?
Yeah, because I know he's probably yelling at me and I want to shut him up. You know, he's calling me all kinds of names. I definitely want to shut him up.
Right.
You have a duty that if they're wanting to see you, and as an entertainer, I want to show. Right? So if the guys are coming to watch me play, I don't want to miss that opportunity. Now, physically, if I can't do it, then I can't do it. But physically, if I can do it, and I just don't feel like doing it, that's a whole different lens.
So give me the first time that you came to that fork in the road in your career where you could have sat down and missed a game, but you fought through.
Third game of the season, started my career.
Okay.
I twisted my ankle, and I had a teammate, David Greenwood. He says, you know, you twist your ankle, young fella, come over and sit with me. You know, you need to. I said, no, man, I'm trying to make a name for myself. There's no way I can sit. You know, I need to get out there and show what I'm capable of. I want to play. I want to win. I want to make an impact. And I twisted my ankle. I taped it up and I went back out and I played. You know, and I felt that. I always felt that. I always felt the necessary need that I could never leave my comrades out if I could perform, right? Even if I couldn't. You know, Utah, great example. You know, everybody said the flu game. It's game 5, which is a very pivotal game. I was going to find a way to get out there, even if I was a decoy. Well, once I got out there, you know, you never know how, you know, pushing yourself, you never know what happens, right?
So that night you got out there and you found you could do more than you thought you were going to be able to do.
Next thing you know, the emotions, the situation, the need of the team, you know, all those things catapulted me to, I'm going to gut this thing out. You know, back to your point of what load management is, you know, you play basketball 2.5 hours a day, 3 hours a day, right? That's your job. That's what you get paid to do as an NBA player. What are you doing the other 21 hours? I mean, to me, that's when you should be preparing for your next day of work or your next, you know, challenge. Now, I'm the worst. I mean, maybe I'm not one of the guys that you would probably model that, or
I was going to say, did you do that every time?
But you should think about that in retrospect of what load management really is. I always felt like one, it was a sense of pride for the fans that are paying. Right. Two is a sense of making sure that I stay sharp. I'm not going to lose it. And three, I want our rhythm as a team to always be there. It can disrupt that synergy that's happening.
All right, so there you have it, people. Michael Jordan, the GOAT, and his thoughts on load management. First of all, he said that pretty much that it's an unnecessary thing. So one of the first things he's basically said is, as an entertainer, your job is to entertain. So keyword is job. First and foremost, this is your job. This is what you get paid to do, is play basketball. So therefore, if this is what you're getting paid to do, then you should be doing that. Now, the next thing said was he asked Michael Jordan the first time, I guess, that he kind of made the decision to play through an injury or to play through hurt. And Michael Jordan said something about it was like the third game. Can't remember what it said, first or second season. He said it was the third game and he sprained his ankle and someone was trying to get him to sit out. And he was basically thinking, hey man, I got to make a name for myself. I don't have time to sit out. And so he felt that obligation to play there. And so from there, he starts to go through various different reasons. He talks about the fans. He talks about the guy who's worked and paid his hard-earned money to see him, and the obligation he feels towards that fan to perform for him. Or if it's a fan who may be rooting against him, he feels the obligation to be there to shut that fan up. He talked about the obligation to his teammates, to not let his teammates down. And so he gave several reasons to why he felt the obligation to play. And my people, here we go. Here is what you can take from this. Michael Jordan listed several reasons, or you could say excuses, to play. Hurt. He listed several excuses of why he would rather play through the pain and injuries if he could. And this is the difference between Michael Jordan and players of the past eras and the modern day player, is why Michael Jordan is giving you multiple excuses to play through the injury, because there were people who felt like he probably shouldn't play through the injury. While Michael Jordan is giving you excuses to play through the injury, modern day players are looking for excuses to not play as much as possible. LeBron James fanboys, or players or people who are fans of modern day NBA, this is something you can't get around. Is why Michael Jordan was looking for excuses to play. Oh, I can't sit out, man. I got a name to make for myself. Oh, I can't sit out, man. What about the fan who paid his hard-earned money to see me? I can't sit out, man. What about my teammates, man? What about my teammates who are coming out, who are counting on me to help them win? What about them? Modern NBA players. Oh man, what about my sprained finger? Am I supposed to play on that and risk messing up my stats? Man, forget the fans. What about the fact that I'm tired? What about the fact that we're playing 82 games, man? I need a break, man. If I'm gonna be fresh for the playoffs, I need a break. This is the difference, people. This is the difference in mentality, and this is the difference in how modern day players see the game and players of the past see the game. While players of the past were looking for excuses to play through the pain, through the hurt, and modern day players are looking for excuses to play as little as possible. You can't get around it. Now, so I want to play this last part that Michael Jordan said one more time, because this is something, well, it's a couple of things, but this, well, here, let me play it, and when we'll come back.
So that night you got out there and you found you could do more than you thought you were going to be able to do.
Next thing you know, the emotions, the situation, the need of the team, all those things catapulted me to, I'm gonna gut this thing out.
Actually, hold on. Let me go back a little bit before that.
Utah, great example. Everybody said the flu
Finals.
game. It's game 5, which is a very pivotal game. I was gonna find a way to get out there, even if I was a decoy. Well, once I got out there, you never know how, pushing yourself, you never know what happens, right?
So that night you got out.
That's what I wanted to get. He says, pushing yourself, you never know what happens. And this is the thing that we talk about on this channel all the time, is that it's going through the obstacles that create the greatness. That's what creates the greatness, is going through the obstacles. Because players like Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant and Larry Bird and Magic Johnson were willing, Isaiah Thomas included, were willing to push themselves through the hurt, through the pain. This is what created the legends. This is what created the legends and the stories that people still talk about to this day, is the fact that they were willing to push through the hurt, through the pain. It is the obstacles, people, that create the greatness. Michael Jordan said, hey, when you push yourself, you never know what happens. And I'm sure those of you who played sports, if you weren't soft like these modern NBA players, those of you who played sports, like, you remember the times where you might have been sick or not feeling well and you had one of the better games. I definitely remember those times. Times where I wasn't feeling my best is when I had some of the better games, because it's through that pushing yourself through the obstacles. That's what brings out the greatness. That's where you see where you're really at. So that was a very important thing that Michael Jordan says, is when you push yourself through those obstacles, you never know what happened. You don't know what you're capable of until you push yourself through the things that you may think that you can't overcome. But you got to be willing to try it. That's the only way you see what you're really made of. And again, this is what made Michael Jordan, is that feeling that he was never defeated. That feeling that it's not a matter of if I'm going to overcome, it's a matter of when. Matter of fact, Michael Jordan had some kind of quote that, and I'm paraphrasing, but he said something to the effect that I never felt like I lost the game. It only felt like I ran out of time. Let me repeat that. For the younger generation who watches my channel, let me repeat that. Again, I'm paraphrasing, but this is pretty close to what he said. Michael Jordan said something to the effect that I never felt like I lost the game. It only felt like I ran out of time. In other words, you keep going full steam ahead until the clock runs out. And that's on the game, and that's in life. Whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. You just have to keep that mental fortitude. You just have to keep that mental toughness to keep going through all of the obstacles. So yeah, to me, that was a very powerful thing that Michael Jordan said, as far as, when you push yourself, when you're willing to play through the hurt or the pain, you don't know what you're capable of until you do that. Sometimes the best of things happen during those circumstances. And again, this is the kind of wisdom that you will not get from players in the modern NBA. This is the kind of wisdom that you will not get from the duck, the deer, the leader of the 4 and 6 kingdom. LeBron James fanboys, if you want to learn anything, I suggest that you guys make sure you're tuning in to the Michael Jordan segment every week, because you cannot get this kind of knowledge from your false king. But anyway, let me play this one last part one more time.
You play basketball 2.5 hours a day, 3 hours a day, right? That's your job. That's what you get paid to do as an NBA player. What are you doing the other 21 hours? I mean, to me, that's when you should be preparing for your next day of work or your next, challenge. Now, I'm the worst. I mean, maybe I'm not one of the guys that you would probably model that, or
I was going to say, did you do that every time?
But you should think about that in retrospect of what load management really is. I always felt like one, it was a sense of pride for the fans that are paying.
Right.
Two is a sense of making sure that I stay sharp. I'm not going to lose it. And three, I want our rhythm as a team to always be there. It can disrupt that synergy that's happening.
And there you go. It can disrupt the synergy of the team. And this is what I've always said. Yes, fanboys, here we go. Here's the segment, fanboys, where I talk about your ridiculous king. This is the part that LeBron James has never understood about building something. This is why Michael Jordan took the Chicago Bulls, who were a losing franchise, and built them into a dynasty. And this is why LeBron James got up and ran like a coward from Cleveland to Miami. Because LeBron James didn't understand that building something requires consistency, that building something requires going through the hard times. And this is why LeBron James, his whole philosophy, his whole way he has went about the game is not greatness. It doesn't lead to greatness. Him being willing to trade players, him being willing to get coaches fired. When you are trying to build something, that means as long as you have players there, and this has to come from you as a leader. This has to come from you as a leader being willing to put your foot down and be hard on players. But as long as you got players who are willing to endure you being hard on them and you pushing them, you stick with those players. That's what it's about. It's finding people who will go to war with you. Not finding the people who are the most talented, but the people who are willing to go to war with you. And the only way you can build into a dynasty is through time and consistency. Michael Jordan stuck with the Chicago Bulls. That is the only way that one can be 6-0 in the finals, never allowing a game 7, because him, Scottie, and Phil Jackson, even though the second three-peat team was a little different than the first three-peat team, they had the core guys. And because they had built that synergy, that chemistry from game after game after game of playing together, not through load managing, missing games, they built to a chemistry that was a winning chemistry, that they could count on each other. This is what LeBron James has never had, because LeBron James has been a runner. When you want to load manage and miss games, you are disrupting team chemistry. You are missing the opportunity to build that team chemistry. You're missing the opportunity to build that rhythm within yourself. Because while maybe you're gonna be feel a little more tired from playing game after game without the load management, but despite you feeling tired, what you will do is still be training that muscle memory to be in that rhythm. I said again, as someone who played basketball, anywhere from 4 to 7 days a week at different points in my life, the one thing that I know is it didn't matter how tired I was. When I was playing, 4 to 7 days a week, I always felt good, even though I might be tired by the third or fourth or fifth day. My ability was always better than when I would miss a week or miss a week or two of playing. Because then I felt rusty. Then I felt out of rhythm. But when I was playing all the time, it's like that rhythm was always there, whether I was tired or not. Again, sometimes I might have felt more tired than others. But, again, if you grew up in the 90s, like, this is what it was. Basketball was part of the culture. You played for the love of the game. And so we were out there playing daily, playing hurt, playing on sprained ankles and hurt this and hurt that. And we weren't getting paid a dime for it. We were just playing because we love to compete. We were just playing because that's what you did during the Michael Jordan era. So Michael Jordan is absolutely right. Anytime you miss a game, you are missing an opportunity to build that rhythm, not only with yourself, but to build that team chemistry that is necessary for greatness, that is necessary if you're trying to build a dynasty somewhere. And this is why LeBron James is ridiculous. This is why LeBron James is nowhere near the GOAT conversation and will never be, has never been. This is why LeBron James is the manufactured fake king. This is why that anybody who is a LeBron James fanboy is a loser and support loser mentality. This is what you support. If you're a LeBron James fanboy, you support loser mentality. If you're someone who buys into this whole modern NBA is so much better than previous eras of basketball, you support loser mentality. Because all they do is make excuses for why it's okay for these modern NBA players to do what they do. All they do is make excuses for load management. All they do is make excuses for flopping. All they do is make excuses for why these players won't participate in the All-Star game. But anyway, we gonna hold up here, people. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. What did you think of what Michael Jordan had to say about load management? Do you think Michael Jordan was right on the money? Do you think Michael Jordan should have been even harsher with what he said? Or do you think Michael Jordan is completely wrong, people, and we need to just accept the fact that these players who are getting paid millions of dollars should have a rest? Even though the regular person who works a 9 to 5, they don't get to just have some load management while still getting paid. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. You all have a truly fantastic day, and I'll see you next time. All right.